Mr. Stone here. Data, numbers, and equations surround us. And if we're able to interpret how they work together, we're going to be able to find new patterns and discover new meaning. This includes everything from sports to car mileage to even video games. Like one of my hobbies, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
Plants vs. Zombies is a game where you are a plant or zombie, you fight each other. I was playing a bit and I got this particular result, which was with 4 knockouts and 5 downs. So I had 4 knockouts of other players and I was downed 5 times. Now, what is useful about this is that we can determine a statistic called KD, which actually comes from K over D. So if I just take 4 divided by 5, that is my KD. That is my ratio of knockouts to downs. How many times I got other players and how many compared to how many times I was gotten by other players. And 4 divided by 5 gives us just 0.8. And this is very popular in competitive games online. 0.8 indicates that I had more downs than I did knockouts, which means I was receiving more damage really than I was giving out, which is really not where you want to be. But it doesn't make a difference how many times I was downed, or how many times specifically I was knocked out. What's important is the ratio, one to the other. And this can kind of tell you how good of a player someone may be, at least in terms of if that's what your measurement is of how many times you are knocked out compared to how many times you knock out somebody else. This type of statistic is around us all the time. It's also in sports, like baseball. So in baseball, you've got a thing called batting average, and this tells you about how good a player is at batting. Batting average is just equal to the number of hits divided by the number of at-bats, basically opportunities to have a hit in order to hit the ball when you're at the plate. If a player were to have 122 hits spread across about 300 at-bats, then they would have a batting average of 0.407, which if you know about baseball, this is really good. An average player would have about maybe 250, 0.250 batting average. Anybody that's really good is anything above, this is a greater than sign here, anything above 0.300. That's pretty good as far as baseball goes. And the number of hits though and the number of at-bats, that can change, but this figure here, this batting average, it's always going to be a ratio that we can compute fairly easily if we know the other two things. If we know the hits and the at-bats, we can figure out what the average is. If we know the average and we know how many hits they had, then we can also figure out the at-bats. As long as we know the other two, we can figure out the missing one. So statistics like these are super powerful in sports and in online games. I'd like you to take a moment and think about, where else do we see this? And write down some possible ideas in your notes, and we will talk about them tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.